Hey guys, welcome to the Hey DJ Show. I'm your host, DJ Jimenez, and thank you guys so much for watching this on YouTube or listening to this wherever you get your podcast. Do consider following me on every social media platform. Do give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, comment down below, join in on the conversation. I always say that. And you're going to want to join in on this because today I got a really cool guest. Help me introduce Benedictus Chandra. Ben, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing better than I deserve. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here, man.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. All right, man. So I'm really excited for you to join. People right now, some of, especially my friends, are going to be like, all right, so who is this guy? But they're going to want to listen to you because you are going to help people, hopefully, get them to learn how to save money. And not only save money, but we're going to talk about stocks because, dude, you are a up-and-coming stock guru.
Definitely. Well, I mean, right now is the best time to invest your money in stocks, and more millionaires are made in times like this, in uncertain times and, during crashes and when it comes to the stock market and during uncertain times and, like what Warren Buffett says, be greedy when people are fearful and be fearful when people are greedy. So,
dude, that's I have heard that before, but that's almost a creepy, eerie saying, but I get it. I definitely get it. It kind of sucks to admit that that's a little bit of reality.
Definitely.
But I mean, well, right now with COVID, everything's, opening back up and, people are going back to work and all that stuff. The vaccines rolled out. So is it right now a good time to invest? Like, why?
Well, it's most definitely right now the best time to invest, and especially since COVIDs are rolling out and,
You mean the vaccines rolling out, not the COVID?
Well,
who wants free COVID?
You're right. You're right. Not the COVID, but the vaccines are rolling out, and it depends on who you ask. But, the vaccines are life-changing, and it's a good way to restart back the economy. And it's also a peace of mind that people can buy knowing that they got the vaccine and they can go out and, go out to the world, spend out their money, have fun, going out to eat, going on vacation.
So, I mean, there's not going to be anything we're talking about, but how has COVID affected you? Like, did you ever get it or?
Well, I mean, COVID, unfortunately, it's an unfortunate event that's taking on in the world right now. But how I see COVID is almost like it's either you get finessed by COVID or you finesse COVID. And by what I mean by that is almost by the situation. And it's either you take advantage of the situation or you become the victim of the situation.
What about you? Did you become a victim?
So, unfortunately, and thankfully, I'm blessed that I'm on the other side of the coin where I can take advantage of with what's going on and, still be productive and still be, on the grind.
All right, cool. But did you get COVID though? Do you not want to answer that?
I did not get COVID.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
So, definitely.
Did you know I got it?
No, I did not know that you got COVID.
I had it. Or let me say that I had it back in January.
Okay.
And it was I talked about it briefly on this show before I started interviewing when the show was crap. Not that it's any better. But anyways, so it's kind of funny. I mean, I laughed at the time, but so literally I had my school orientation, right? So I wake up early, I'm getting ready, and like I have a headache, but I'm just thinking, it's been a while since I woke up super early in the morning. And I'm just like, I'm just being a little bitch.
Yeah.
So I go ahead and make breakfast and all that stuff. I made pancakes, and as soon as I take a bite, I couldn't taste it. Like
Wow.
with the syrup and everything, I couldn't taste
Wow.
it. And uh I remember that being one of the symptoms. Like you lose your sense of taste and smell, and I was just like, "Fuck, man!" And so immediately, I had a thermostat, and so I went ahead and took my temperature.
Mm-hmm.
It came out to be like 101, and I
Wow.
was like, "No, no, no! Like it can't be." And I took it multiple times. All of them came out to
Wow.
it had it changes color. Green, you're fine. Yellow, you have a fever. Red, you have a really high fever, you need to go see a doctor. And it was yellow all the time, and I was like, fuck, man. And I had my
Wow.
school orientation, I was looking forward to this. And so I wasn't taking any chances. I was like, man, all right, let me sit out and go get tested. And then I told Zach, who I live with, I was just like, hey, man, I don't want to scare you or anything, but I think I have COVID. I have some symptoms. I'm fine though. Like I do have a bit of a headache, but just just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna stay in my room. Just kind of stay away from me.
Definitely.
And a couple of days later, went to go get tested, and a couple of days later, tested positive, and I was like, fuck.
Definitely.
And but yeah, like again, I always have to be careful when I say this. Just me, only me. I can only speak for me. I'm not speaking for the world. For me, because I'm young and relatively healthy, it wasn't that bad. Like I honestly kicked it in like 3 days, but I still quarantined. I still stayed in the house and all that stuff for 2 weeks till it passed. Got tested again, tested negative. Went back to work. Went back to school. But yeah, I and then now I got the antibodies, and
Definitely.
man, I don't know how long it'll last. But yeah, so it fucking sucked though. Like the 3 days I had a headache, that was whatever. It was like the flu. And then just being quarantined, that shit sucks. Especially for me, I'm an extrovert. Like I like talking to people, I like
Definitely.
hanging out with
Yep.
people. That shit sucked. I mean,
Wow.
COVID sucked, but yeah.
Definitely.
But anyway, so all right. So one thing we're gonna talk about is you're really good at the stock market, paying attention to the increases, decreases, what to invest, what's hot, all that good stuff. So to help some of my viewers and your people who follow you as well, I'm gonna play super dumb. I
Definitely.
am dumb, but
Okay.
anyways,
No, you're not.
what are stocks? Like, somebody's just coming in and they're like,
Okay.
man, I hear this all the time. I see Wolf of Wall Street
Definitely.
and all that stuff. What are stocks?
Well, I mean, stock is pretty much an ownership over a corporation, and it's just a collective people that are putting their money into a company that are publicly in the stock market, which means that if you founded, for example, you founded McDonald's,
Yeah.
and if you were to put it in the stock market, you're no longer the owner because it's publicly now owned. Now everyone can buy shares on McDonald's, and you can definitely you're the CEO, but you're not the owner because now it's publicly owned. So it's just a share of a company. So if a company is doing well, then your share is doing well. So
Yeah. So, I mean, but like, what are stocks in the sense of like, uh, I guess, you know, is it basically another form of cash kind of thing? I mean, I know what it is. I'm just saying this.
definitely,
I
I mean,
like,
in a way, it is. I mean, it's almost like you have stakes on the company, and it's almost like you have ownership of a company, of a piece of a company, not the whole entire company, but it's almost like slices of pizza where if you own
okay, now you have my attention. You mentioned pizza.
if you own partial uh, of the stock of the company, then you own then you own part like the slice of the pizza,
Yeah.
not the entire box, but you own a slice of the pizza.
I mean, have you met me? DJ gets his pizza. He gets the
So
box. Like it's no, especially if it's pepperoni pizza. New York's pepper. All right. Anyways, no,
yeah.
we could go a whole episode talking about pizza. All right. Anyways, but Okay, so it's a piece of the company that you basically own. All right. So I guess how much stock do you have to buy in order to freaking own the company? So what you're telling me is I can own a pizzeria right now. I can like go own like something like Pizza Hut or Papa John's.
Well, not necessarily. I mean,
The
just
fuck?
really, not all companies are the same,
Yeah.
especially in the stock market, and the stock price will reflect on that. And you're gonna have a well run company that's already established, like Costco, McDonald's, and you're gonna have companies that's still trying to be known, trying to prove themselves, like the if you go into the electronic vehicles, like if you see companies like Nikola, if you see companies like, for example, like Plug-in, or if you see companies that's even on the penny stocks, those are the companies that's still trying to prove themselves.
Yeah.
And like I said, the stock price reflects on that. Companies like Apple, which are trading are around $130 a share. Apple, they have more money than most countries, so they're known, and most people that are financially well off, they at least have about on average, five Apple products. So in that sense of the stability of a company, once you buy into the stability of a company, not only the price are more expensive, but they're more on the reliable side.
Yeah. Now, okay, you brought up a term that I do hear, penny stocks. Now, okay, so and then you mentioned Apple. So long time ago when Apple was just started out, did
Definitely.
was Apple once penny stocks?
Of course, most definitely. I mean, the stock market is a tool where a company gather funds and trying have the funds to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So for example, if you invest on the app on Apple stocks on the same price as the first iPhone, you'd be a millionaire right now.
Yeah.
And
I need a time machine.
time machine, right? For example, like Tesla back in 2017,
Yeah.
it was trading just about $15 to $17 a share.
Yeah, now what's it at?
Now it's over $700 a share.
Damn.
So
$700.
the best way to get on the stock market is to do your due diligence on the company and believe on that company before not a lot of people will, and they will reward you on that.
All right. So if I were to go right now, like say, I mean, through you, I started investing stocks and you got me to know a little bit more about it. All right. So say right now you're talking to me and this is a different DJ. He's never invested in anything.
Mm-hmm.
Would you tell him to go ahead and invest in penny stocks first, do your
Definitely.
research, or should I go ahead and research some of these well-known companies like Nike, Apple, Facebook, Twitter, all that
Definitely.
jazz?
Well, I mean, the first thing first, what I would ask you is what are your investing strategy, and how long are you willing to see your money in return?
Mm.
So it's either are you in a conservative investor or are you more into an aggressive investor? So if you're more into conservative, of course, invest in a more of a consistency company, like what you said, Apple, Nike. Those are the company that you may not get the most bang for your buck just because they already blow up right now,
Yeah.
but they will consistently make you money.
Yeah.
It may not be much, but it will grow over time.
Yeah.
Versus in terms of a penny stocks, where it may be
Those are the ones that can blow up. Like
exactly,
in a good way.
exactly, and but the trick is not all of them are gonna blow up.
Yeah.
And it's just up to doing your due diligence and knowing, where the economy is going. With this
Yeah.
whole COVID, the post-COVID world that we're living in.
Yeah.
So
All right. So besides the because I already know you're gonna say, do your research, but all right, but I want a specific answer.
Definitely.
Like, okay, what should somebody do first? Like, all right, they don't own any stocks, they don't have any of the apps like Robinhood, Acorn, all that stuff. What should they do first?
Well, first and foremost is always get a job. Get a get an active income.
Oh man, you went
Get
really
a get an
specific.
active income where you know for a fact you're gonna make a certain amount while doing the certain amount of work, and pretty much save up your money, man. I mean, I cannot stress this enough. And 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and that's due to poor money management, due to poor financial literate.
Man, how do
And
you feel about people who are like that? That I mean, I don't hate anybody, only evil people. But uh, this is where I'm a tough love guy. Like
definitely,
I do care for some people, and money management to me is like honestly one of the easiest freaking things.
definitely,
Like now, don't get me wrong, life isn't predictable. Sometimes there's like a medical incident or a car accident, whatever, car breaks down, whatever the case may be, and you're gonna have to, spend money that you didn't think you had to spend, and maybe you weren't saving as much as you should have, whatever. It's a wake up call. But to me, I'm like, first, just don't be stupid. Don't spend money that you don't have,
exactly.
right? Uh, so that being said, like, all right, we're talking to the average Joe here. So let's say somebody's making, I don't know, like, let's say $2,000 a month, right?
Definitely,
And just for the hell of it, just to make the math easier, they pay all their bills. It's $1,000. So
definitely,
now they're left with $1,000 in their pocket. How much of that should they invest, like, into the stock market?
definitely. All right. Well, when you said a grand, is that including food, or is that just like you're
No, no,
spending
that
your
that that
free spending money?
that's your free spending money. They they,
Gotcha.
they paid off all their bills,
Gotcha.
including groceries.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I mean, first I want to talk about how like we live in the United States, how we run on the U.S. dollar, and by God, and that's the best advantage that anyone in the United States of the listener in the United States can
Man, it's
ever
not even
have.
the 4th of July, and you're giving some patriotic
Definitely,
speech.
definitely, because the reason why I want to say that because the world's currency is running on the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
Therefore, that's the reason why we're able to afford buying a house with just putting 3 or 4 or 5% down.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we can buy a car for just putting down 5% of the car's cost.
Yeah.
Because we run on the US dollar, which means that it's a heavy currency, it's what the world trades on. So our debt is a good debt because in anywhere else in the world you can't buy a house on a 30-year mortgage. You can't buy a car on a 7-year loan, car mortgages loan.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're able to do that is because we're generating US dollars where we work and what we do. So this goes back to what you were saying about once you make, you made 1,000, you pay off all your bills, you got $1,000, and
You
what
got
you should do
$1,000
with it.
spending money. How much of that should they
So,
put in the market?
so what you should do is, I mean, really, is take care of your debt, pay off your debt, for the most part, first things first.
All right, say they don't have any debt.
Okay, well, if they don't have a debt, first, if you have $1,000 to invest, I would say invest at least. It really depends on your spending habit because if you like to go out to eat, if you like to do this and that, then maybe you should invest less. But if you're like me, you're frugal with your money, you know where every dollar goes, then maybe you can be more aggressive. So that's where I ask you, it just really depends on your investing strategy.
Yeah.
Either you're conservative or you're an aggressive. you know.
Yeah, I can see the pros and cons
So
to both of them.
and it's almost like that. It's almost like you can invest little by little to an aggressive company,
Mhm.
or you can invest more, but you have a lot more room to play.
Yeah.
So
See, because I mean, I'm financially disciplined, but again, I don't play in the stock market as much as you do, and you're very well versed at it. But for me, if somebody were to ask me, like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into the game, again, not knowing anything, I would say the same math that I gave you. So if somebody has $1,000 spending money,
definitely,
I would probably say, you know, take 20% of that and go ahead and play in the stock market. Take 10% and put it in a, like IRA, Roth IRA,
definitely,
and then the rest just pocket, just live your life, just
definitely.
buy whatever. So with that being said, like, is there a certain percentage? I mean, I like what you said that. Well, do you want to be conservative with your money, or do you want to play aggressive? So I guess you know I don't know. I guess we're gonna go around in circles, but I guess what I'm want you to say is like, all right, if you want to play conservative, here's what you do. If you want to play aggressively, here's what you do.
Gotcha.
So give like both answers.
Gotcha. Definitely. Well, here's the thing. There's rules to it, you know. So if, like what you said, maybe I was circled around the question earlier, but if you have $1,000 to spend, you can spend all that $1,000 in the stock market. It just really depends on what you spend it on. So you never put all your eggs in one basket. You never put that 1,000 in just one individual company, because you might not be able to go to sleep at night. Like all things, you know, like how I would put it in an analogy is like you're putting seeds, you know.
Planting seeds.
You're planting seeds. There's going to be some time you're going to plant different seeds. You're going to plant a lot of seeds. And there's going to be times when one seed grows faster than the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
It's almost like if you're a mom, you might can relate to this. It's almost like having kids, you know, not just one, you have 4 or 5. Not all of them are going to be successful.
Oh, how dare you.
You know what I mean?
With Mother's Day
For example, no, if you think about it, you know, one is going to be successful through a period of time,
Yeah.
and he might stagnate or whatever. The other one might grow, you know, a little bit later than the other.
Yeah.
You know, the other one
I wonder which one I am.
You get what I'm trying to say? It's almost like that. And that's how the analogy that I can put with the stock market.
Yeah.
So that's why the number one rule is to never invest the money you're not willing to lose on the stock market.
That's a good advice.
And that's the number one thing.
So basically, whatever money you are about to put in, before you put it in, you gotta like detach yourself from it.
Definitely,
like,
definitely.
I'm not gonna see this.
And
I'm probably not gonna see a return.
And it's not about having time in the market. It's not about timing the market. It's about having time in the market.
Yeah.
So you can never time the market perfectly, where it's like, okay, I'm going to buy when it's low and I'm going to sell when it's high. In theory, yes, that's what you want to do. But if you have time in the market in the long run, you're able to analyze the individual stock and the behavior of the stock. So you can buy when it's low and you can sell when it's high.
Yeah.
And all that is throughout time.
All right. Kind of going back to the penny stocks. So you personally, if you don't mind answering, if you don't, I understand. How much do you yourself invest? Do you invest more in penny stocks? Like after you do your research, like you're doing your research, because you should. Are you trying to invest more in penny stocks, or are you trying to kind of invest or save up and invest in the consistent ones, like the big names?
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I have both. And like what I said, going back to the rules, I mean, you have rule number 1, never invest the money you're not willing to lose. And number 2 is never put your eggs in one basket. So I always invest in some penny stocks, some stocks that I'm willing to bet on, that I'm willing to bet on the long run that will succeed.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my money, or even half of my money, goes towards the stocks that's well known, like Apple.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes me sleep good at night. You know.
All right. So I kind of want to take a step back now and talk about a little bit about your origins. Like, all right, because you're 29 years old. You're the same as just me, except I'm 28. So you are financially disciplined. I would probably say more than me. You know what? No, fuck it. I will say more than me. You are financially more disciplined than me. That being said, you know, how'd you develop this mindset, this discipline? Because you and I both know people around our age that, and I'm not judging them. You know, you're free to do whatever you want, but they're just like, oh, I want to live in the moment. I want to go ahead and spend, and they're not really saving. So it's kind of an underrated thought for a young person to save. It's not until, in my opinion, once somebody hits their 30s, or maybe once they have kids, that they realize, oh shit, like I probably need to start saving.
Gotcha.
So what led you Benedictus Chandra, to at an early, when did you start? Like, how old were you when you realized, like, yo, I should probably start saving?
Definitely. Well, I mean, I would say a little bit of my background. Came here when I was 8 years old from Indonesia, from Jakarta, Indonesia. And, I come from a third world country, where you can see it with your own eyes of people picking food from the side of the street,
Oh, damn.
from the garbage can and whatnot. So when I came to America, both of my parents were working in the restaurant industry, and they both still are right now. So, and when I was 12, 13 years old, my mom told me, she was like, I can keep giving you $20 each week for lunch money or for whatever, but I'm not going to be around forever. And that itself hits me. Damn. When I was 12, 13 years old. Because who doesn't love their mom? And when their mom says that, they're like, it's almost like a red flag that you have in your instinct, where it's like, all right, I'm going to stop asking my mom for money from now on. I'm going to find ways to generate my own money, and the rest starts from there. You know what I mean? And
so you were 12 or 13 when you realized, like,
12 or 13 years old.
That's fucking young, dude.
Definitely. And like I said, it's never too early or it's never too late to start investing. And we all think investing is about putting money in the stock market, putting money in businesses. We all invest on ourselves each and every day. When we get up each and every morning, we all get ready, we all shower, we invest on ourselves. So why not invest in other people so we all can grow?
That's awesome, man. Nicely put. But, man, I can't get over the fact that you started saving since you were 12 or 13.
Definitely. And
I'll be honest, I didn't start till I was like maybe 21, 22. Definitely. Like around there. Yeah. Oh, man, jeez. Like, yeah, you definitely beat me there. Oh, man. You got to use the restroom? Dude, you can say it. Okay. It's all good. Go use the restroom. All right. We'll kind of be back, guys. Benedictus has to pee.
Hell, you better not put that on the video.
Oh, I so will.
You gonna edit that out, right?
Hell no.
You better.
And he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, let's do it.
Oh, man. Was it a good pee? Good.
Hell yeah.
Empty it out the tank. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Now you look a little bit more relaxed. I think people saw that as like you were a little bit crunched up.
Really?
No, you're good, man. I'm just teasing.
Okay.
All right, man. So, getting back into it. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the penny stocks, some strategy. All right, so I guess I want to go into a little bit more specifics. So let's talk about right now. What's a recent company that you invested in that you would advise people to invest in?
Well, I mean,
or is that something you keep to yourself?
No, of course not. Of course not. I mean, of course, you always do your due diligence. Never take some random guy as a financial advisor.
Yeah.
But I mean, stocks that I've been heavily invested on
I
are,
mean,
of
you did
course,
say do your research, so I mean, like
yeah, do your,
people should be
of course,
responsible,
of
not just
course,
take your word
definitely,
at full
definitely,
face value, but to be able to be like, all right,
definitely,
he's paying attention to this company. Why? Let me go
definitely.
invest, like look into it, research it.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, if you want to invest in more of a consistency company, if you look at the FANG stocks, what they call it, FANG,
What's a fang? That sounds
F
cool.
FAANG, and that's Facebook, Apple, Google.
Nike.
No,
There's an N
FANG.
there.
Okay, it's Facebook, Apple, Google, Amazon. Pretty much that,
Yeah.
and Netflix.
Oh,
Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, I was
So
like,
yeah,
there's
so
an
it's
N there.
Facebook, Apple,
Amazon,
Amazon,
Netflix,
Netflix,
Google.
Google. So yeah, those are the FANG stocks. So you can invest on those, and those are most likely those are pretty already high,
Yeah.
expensive. But if you can, some platforms like Stash will let you buy partial shares, so you can even put 10 bucks on Amazon. You won't have full shares of the company, but you'll have
You're working
zero.
towards a share.
Exactly. You'll
Okay.
have 0.0001. You know what I
I
mean?
own a part of Amazon. I'm a big
Exactly.
shot now.
Exactly. So you can either invest on that, or you can also do your due diligence, and just knowing what the post COVID market will be.
Yeah. No, I
And if
hear
I
I
can,
hear from people that's
and if I
it's
have a
blowing
crystal
up.
ball, I would tell your audience, but
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously, if somebody
definitely,
could see into the future, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm going
definitely,
to invest in this."
definitely.
But what I'm saying is like, what's it like a penny stock? What's a penny stock that you recently invested in that
Well,
you trust that obviously again nobody's going to take your word at face value. They're
definitely,
just going to be like, oh, Ben mentioned this
definitely,
company,
definitely,
let me do my research. Why is he paying attention to this
definitely.
company?
Well, I mean, first things first, you got to give a shout out for the Reddit, those Reddit guys, and one of those
We're going to
companies
talk a
would
little
be
bit about that later.
one of the company would be like AMC, and AMC is trading about $9.30 right now.
Mhm.
And though he had a fundamental bad of a company, they have a lot of debt. There's a lot of uncertainty going on with the post-COVID world,
Especially with the movie theaters. Yeah,
and with
like you
the
told me
with the
to.
movie theaters opening up,
Yeah.
and Godzilla versus Kong, they did a major
Did you see it?
show. I saw it, and it was
Dude,
amazing.
do you want to talk about that?
So we can,
Oh,
but
later.
so I
We'll
mean,
put a.
AMC stocks, it's almost good. You may not believe on the company and the fundamental, but you might believe in the hype.
Yeah.
You might believe in the stock
Yeah.
and where it's going, because you have a group of people where they're just are, you know what, these hedge funds are trying to make this company bankrupt, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna buy all these shares of AMC, and we're just gonna hold. We're not
Well, I
gonna
mean, now
sell.
you're talking about yeah, that happened at
So
AMC, but more famously, GameStop.
GameStop, of course,
So
that's the big brother.
let's talk
Definitely,
about that. So
definitely.
what's your thought on that?
Well, I mean,
Because
GameStop.
wait, real quick, I'm so sorry to cut you off. This is how I knew to take you seriously. I mean, I already take you seriously, but you caught wind on that before it like really broke out.
Definitely.
Because we have a group chat with other
Definitely.
mutual friends,
Gotcha.
and you are the one to message everybody saying, "Hey guys, look into this stock. It's
Definitely.
going to the moon, whatever." And you mentioned AMC and GameStop specifically before it even broke out, and I did not. People are gonna be mad at me, but I did not take you seriously because, like, I mean, I'm a bit of a gamer, but I looked at that and I was like, no, GameStop is doing horrible. What are you talking about? And then bam, this happened. I was like, fuck. All right, I'm gonna take Ben seriously now.
Definitely.
So, all right, your thoughts on the
So
GameStop
what I
and
so
Robinhood story?
definitely. I mean, my thoughts are, these hedge funds, they should have been ashamed of themselves, And so what's happening is that they trying to take advantage of the situation, and they know with the whole COVID thing, most people aren't going to the malls. People aren't going to GameStop. people aren't going to AMC, to the movie theater. So you have these companies in New York where they're betting on these companies to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much what they're doing is that in the stock market, they have this sense of, it's almost like if we're talking about in Pokemon cards, it's like I'm the big brother and I'm like, hey, Dom,
Man, now people are not going to take this show seriously. You mentioned Pokemon cards.
So let me borrow your Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
You know, let me borrow your Pikachu cards. Your Pikachu cards.
You can have my Pikachu. You can't take my Charizard, though.
Well, let's say it's Blastoise, okay?
All right, Blastoise is legit, too. Okay.
So you have a Blastoise card, and I said, hey, let me borrow your Blastoise card. Your Blastoise card is worth $10. So let me borrow that, and let me try to sell it for $8. Let me try to sell it for $6. And so that's what these hedge funds are doing. They're trying to bring down the price of these companies and eventually make them go bankrupt so they don't have to owe them back. It's like I'm trying to bankrupt my little brother so he doesn't, horrible. So I don't have to pay him back. Yeah. So you have this group of investors, which is the Reddit crew. And what they're doing is like, hold up. We're not going to let these hedge funds take away our GameStop, take away our AMC. Even though the times right now are tough, we're going to buy these stocks. We're going to buy a lot of them. And we're going to buy all at the same time. And we're going to hold. We're not going to sell them.
The memes that were coming out were pretty funny. I will give it that.
So what's going on is right now is that these hedge funds are
panicking. Is it still going on?
It's still going on.
Really? They're still holding it?
So these hedge funds going on. So I'm borrowing your Blastoise card that I think is worth $10. Instead of selling it for $8 on eBay, now it's worth $80. All of a sudden it's worth $800. Hold up. All of a sudden it's worth $8,000. And I'm panicking because
that Blastoise is shiny.
I'm panicking because it's out there. Even though I sold it for this much for $8, all of a sudden now it's worth $800.
You have to give it back to me.
And now I have to give it back to my little brother, and I have to buy it at it doesn't matter at all costs. Yeah. I have to give back his Blastoise card.
Yeah.
And so that's what's happening right now. With the AMC, with the GameStop.
But you don't hear that much more. I mean, some people do who follow it. I do follow it a little bit with AMC, but now it opened back up. Is GameStop open back up? Can you?
GameStop is open back up. It was always been open ever since.
No, they closed it.
And there's an individual brick and mortar store that's still open. Maybe the ones in the malls are closed.
No. I'm not talking about the physical store. I'm talking about to be able to buy the stock.
Oh yeah, right now you're able to buy the
stocks. Because they closed it at a point.
Oh yeah, at one point. Well,
that was fucked up.
At one point, they closed it because they were losing so much money.
Yeah. So
pretty much, the big brother had a talk with eBay and was like, "You need to cut this off, so people can't buy and sell the Blastoise cards."
I talked about it briefly a little bit, where I was making a joke saying, I hold the unpopular opinion about I don't hold any hate towards the hedge fund people. Like, ooh, they trade stocks for a living, whatever. That's how they make their money. They're not affecting me. I don't give a shit, right? So, you do you, I'm gonna do me. Just stay out of my way, and I'm gonna stay out of your way. That's my attitude. So, but I will say it was pretty fucked up when the hedge fund people, when the Reddits were, messing with them and stuff. And then they told Robinhood specifically, it's like, hey,
definitely
shut it down. Like, close it and all that stuff. I will say that part was messed up. But yeah, I was just like, the story was funny. And I don't hate hedge fund people. I don't care. But I didn't know it was still one that it was open back up, that you could buy the stock and that people are still holding it. What's GameStop price?
Well, GameStop, I believe right now is like 160, hovering around 160 a share, and AMC is hovering around $9.50 a share. So it's all about
$9.50 as in $9.50
a share.
But the GameStop is $100.
$100.60 a share.
The highest I ever saw it was at like 300 something for the GameStop.
Definitely.
But yeah, now it's
So
at 100 whatever.
And that's the beauty about the stock market. It's
Yeah.
that people, it's a group of people where they evaluate a company and they say, hey, this is how much this company is worth.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the one thing that I want to talk to you and your viewers more. You know, it's about the fiduciary duty, and that's not.
We talked a little bit about it earlier. I'm sorry, I can't get over. I'm so immature. I'm such a little kid. What that word fiduciary?
Yes.
You put the douche in fiduciary.
Yeah. Well, fiduciary duties. I mean, it's a lot of concept that
it's like a made up word.
It's a main concept that not a lot of Americans know about it, you know, and it's, you know, you see a lot in the news where 78% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, you know, and that was pre-COVID, you know what I mean? And people are just relying on this great American economy week by week.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people know that your executive, your CEO, your CFO, your COO, in big companies, if you're the worker of that company, they don't work for you. They're not there to make you money. You just produce a certain value for the company, and that's how they see it. Their duty is to make the shareholders more money.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of people in the news now, they complain about, oh, we should getting paid more than $15 an hour, this and this and this. The top executive, they're making millions of dollars. Why are we only making so and so an hour? You know, it's because they don't understand the concept of fiduciary duty. And their duty, those executive duties, their duties is to report for the stakeholders.
Yeah.
Their duty is to make the shareholders more money. And for you and me, we're the workers. We're the ones in the bottom. And our job is to, and that's where the segue of coming in, investing in stocks, being a shareholders of a company.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm gonna get hate for this, but I don't care. I'm too used to it at this point. I don't like it when people have that mindset, like, oh man, you know, we should get paid more. Like, all these executives, give us some of that money. Like, you know, cut your salary so we can get. Because I have two thoughts on that. It's like, okay, why don't you bust your ass and become an executive? Like, move up the food chain,
acquire more skills.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just work hard. Definitely. All right, move up, and stop demanding that people just give you free shit. How about that?
Definitely.
My second thought is that, you know, if you really believe in like, oh, all these executives, like, or whatever, they have like this big stash of money hidden in a vault or whatever that they can like just give to us or whatnot. Why don't you? I mean, this is gonna sound like super vague, whatever. I don't care. But if that's the case, why don't you try to, you know, start your own company?
Definitely.
You know, like, go ahead and invest and take out a loan and buy all the equipment, hire the labor. People are gonna say like, oh, DJ, you're just saying that, like, you know, I can't do that and stuff. It's like, okay, well, you still have option A. You could choose to work hard, or you have option C. Do something else for a living. Definitely. Like, go back to school, acquire a different skill, whatever the case may be. Do something else. I don't know. I mean, I'll say it with tough love. Like, I just never been that type of person to really depend on somebody. I've always seen it like right now, I'm currently in school. I'm in school to acquire a skill to get a better job because I was tired of where I was at in life, and I was like,
definitely,
you know what? Okay, it's time to work hard at something else. Not, hey, I'm here, I'm breathing, give me free shit.
Definitely. I mean, it's, the victim mentality in America is contagious,
It
and
really is.
it's almost like, you know, working hard now is almost like, I could work hard or I could just stay at home and collect this unemployment benefit or whatnot. But that's never been the American spirit. The American
No.
spirit and American dream has always been working hard towards your
Yeah.
dream. And, whatever comes, and we live in a free market society of, bad business, you let them fail. Good business, you reward them. And it's one of those things that, yeah, you could always be working for somebody, but why can't you just do both? Why can't you work for somebody and have your stuff on the side?
Yeah.
And I think the
Have a side
problem,
hustle.
and I think what the
Side job,
problem, I think what the problem is that most people just don't use their time wisely.
Yeah.
If I tell people, what if I tell you that when you wake up, you have 24,000 in your bank account, and once you go to sleep, all that is gone.
No, people are just gonna spend it willy-nilly. People are just gonna be.
People are gonna invest in it. People are gonna use it wisely. People are gonna.
You think so? I'm a little bit cynical. If you tell, see, my mindset is if you were bad with money to begin with, having more money doesn't fix that. You need to learn how. Money's a tool. All right,
Definitely.
like you can hurt yourself with a lot of money. You can hurt yourself with a little money, but at the same time, you can make it work for you. If you have a lot of money, yeah, you can do a lot more things. Like you said, you can invest, you can build, you can do whatever. If you have little money, you know that you could still use that to your advantage. It's
Definitely.
like, okay, listen, I have little money. That means I need to be smarter about how I spend because I can't just spend willy nilly. I don't have that much coming in. I can't be spending more than I make. That's finances 101 right there.
Definitely. And to be honest with you, it's not about how much money you have, but it's about what you do with what you have.
No, you're right.
And that goes with everything. And, we live in a society of like, oh, I need to make more money in order to be more happy. No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You can be content with how much you have. And it's about what you do with what you have.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of money and use it poorly, or you can have little money and spend it wisely.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get your audience discouraged in terms of the amount of money, because at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter.
No, you're right. It doesn't matter, but you're 100% right. It's what you do with it is, how you choose to spend it, how much you choose to put aside. And count yourself lucky. It's awesome that you have awesome parents that made you realize the value of a dollar, and especially you coming from a country where you see people struggle, and then now you're here, you have it a little bit easier.
Definitely.
You don't have it too easy. Like you still have to work hard.
Definitely.
But you don't take it for granted.
Never.
And I will say this, like, if you could summarize it, I'll tell you after I hear from you. But why do you think that it's more in young people's mindset to live life in the moment in terms of in finances? Like, screw it, let me go ahead and kind of live paycheck to paycheck. I don't have that much responsibility.
Definitely.
Why do you think that?
Well, 2 words: instant gratification, and that's what people are seeking more these days. People are abandoning the long-term relationship in all aspect of life.
Yeah.
And people just want what's coming from them right now. What's right now.
They want that like high,
exactly.
like right now.
What's right now. And that's where you can see with social media, and that's where you can see with the culture that we're living in, that instant gratification lifestyle.
Because I was gonna say, I think that's one of the reasons why people you see people don't really invest in stocks is because
it's a long-term commitment.
Yeah, but I bet they don't. One of the reasons why they don't do it is because they want to hit that next Apple, that next Facebook, where it starts off as a penny stock. They go ahead and put in like $100, and then in a week it blows up, and it's like, okay, perfect. I can go ahead and sell this, and I can live off this.
Definitely, it's not like that. And even Warren Buffett says it best. The stock market, it's a tool for the impatient money, move it into the people who are patient. So that's just pretty much just sums up everything. And you have to invest in long term.
Yeah.
And I can't stress that more than enough. Then of course you'll hear a story where people just drop this much money and all of a sudden it just went up and they just sold it and they gained this much profit. But those are just one of a few stories.
Yeah.
And always invest in long term. So that's my best advice. And doesn't matter you invest $5 every day, $10. It's about showing consistency.
Yeah. No, and I mean, kind of going back what you said, like at the start of the episode, kind of saying how we invest in ourselves every day. You are so freaking right, and it's funny because it's one of those things where I feel like you yourself know it, but you have to hear somebody say it for you to like actually let it digest in. Because uh, I think of it like health, uh, instant gratification. Bless you. Bless you.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Instant gratification where, yeah, you could go ahead and spend like, this $5 on this fast food. Yeah, some junk food, they just taste amazing and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, great. And you get that instant pleasure. But if you go ahead and just, instead of eating the fast food, put your money towards some healthy food, yeah, it might cost a little bit more, but in the long run, you take care of your body without trying too hard. You end up losing weight. And yeah, no, and right there, you're investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself every single time you go to work.
Definitely.
Because you're making some income that you're going to, again, invest in something else. Yeah, the stock market isn't anything different.
Definitely. And that goes back to what you're saying about investing in food that costs more money and, that just goes for a long term. And it's what you're saying is right. You put a little bit more money to get a better quality product. Or what you could do is that, hey, you know what? I need to start eating more healthy. Instead of going to a place where they sell healthy food on the go, why don't I just grocery shop?
Yeah.
Why don't I just buy this in bulk?
Yeah.
And why don't I just meal prep instead of paying $7 for that salad? Hey, look, now you're only paying $1.80.
Yeah, no,
doing it your own. And it's about having that frugal mindset. And it's almost like, yeah, you're gonna make a lot of sacrifice, but you're doing it for a greater cause.
The long term, yeah, definitely. You said that, and definitely. And no, honestly, I think it's a better investment. And it's not to say that you can't enjoy some, like, again, going back to food, like some cheap meals here and there, but yeah, think of the long term. Do you read any books on any of this kind of stuff, or do you just mainly just research?
Not really, man. I mean, it's just mainly connecting interspiritually, talking to God, to the higher being.
God, and which one is going to blow up?
Definitely. And just, and just being consistent, man.
Yeah.
And just having that consistent mindset. And, us as human, we always have this emotion where we might be up and down every day. But that's how the stock market is. And it's just for us to not be emotional and just know that we need to have, for every companies that you own, that you invested in, always write that goal of, all right, well, I'm going to sell at this price. Well, if this stock goes down even further, I'm going to buy even more. Always have individual goal and plan for individual stocks.
Yeah.
And companies.
When, like, you always hear, especially with stocks, that buy when low, sell when high. But even with that, it's like kind of vague. It's like, once the stock is high, for me, I've had this thought where I'm like, oh, this stock is growing, but
Mm-hmm.
when should I sell it? I mean, technically it's high,
Gotcha.
but
Gotcha. I mean, it's almost like what I just told you earlier. Is how was having a game plans of like, okay, within this period of time, I'm going to try to find a selling opportunity where I'm going to try to sell it as much as I can within this period of time
yeah,
because I need the money or whatever, whatever. Same goes with buying. Once you have that company time in the market, you knows how the behavior is going. It's almost like having a girlfriend where it's like, okay, well, around this time she's in a good mood, but I don't want to mess with her around this time because that's when she's in a crazy mood. Almost like that to a certain degree. It has his behavior.
yeah,
So
nicely put. Oh man, all right. So, but like, kind of going back to because you didn't give me an answer. All right, what is a specific company like a penny stock that you've invested in
definitely,
that you would advise somebody to invest? But again, they got to do their research.
definitely. I mean, in terms of an individual company, I have like Hexo, like a Canadian marijuana company, but anyone can just invest in any marijuana industry right now because Virginia just recently legalized marijuana, one of the first southern states to do so. And more states are going to do so, and eventually it's going to be legalized. And you just want to catch on that board before it actually takes off.
Yeah.
So do your due diligence on that. And, there's money to be made in Ethereum, in parts of how your phone chips are being made. And right now there's a lot of shortage in microchip. So, invest and research in due diligence on the parts, the components that makes those, and find a great company to do so to invest in.
You brought up marijuana, so like I kind of want to talk about this because I know some people are gonna I know some people on both sides. So what would you say to somebody, they're super anti-weed, like it's like no, it's horrible, but what would you say to them? It's like, all right, listen, you don't have to fucking smoke it, you don't have to put it in brownies, but you should invest in it. Like, you care about money,
Definitely.
you care about that green, like you should put money into it.
I mean, the money itself, the stats itself is going to speak for itself. The income revenue, the profit revenue that it generates for that particular area will show for itself. And, the green rush is here, and it's almost like get on it before it's too late. So, yeah, you might believe in one thing, but if the number shows that this company is making money,
I feel like there's just going to be some people out there that is super like, no, I don't want anything to do with marijuana. I don't want to have the idea of like, oh, I'm investing in this.
I mean, but it's coming.
But I mean, like, yeah, it's like, listen, it's a
Definitely.
train. You might as well ride the train.
And to be honest, that might be the next agenda in Congress, knowing that it's controlled by the Democratic, and that's what they're trying to push out and have it legalized. And not only it's good for individual, but it's good also for banks, because now that are legal, people, they're able to finance companies that wants to start their own marijuana companies or marijuana store. So
I guess this is gonna be a kind of dumb question, but like, is there a lot of marijuana companies?
Oh yeah, there's a ton, and everyone has their own agenda, and everyone controls a particular area.
Which one do you invest in? You said Hexo?
Yeah, Hexo is pretty much a company that's in Canada. It's a Canadian marijuana company, and their business model is not to be the biggest, but to be the best. And
I was about to say, why the fuck are you investing in something Canadian? Why not American, man?
And they partner up with Molson Coors, and they're the one. Molson Coors are the one that make Coors Light, and they have came out with the THC drinks.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
I heard a rumor about that, but I didn't know if it was true.
And a lot of people love marijuana, because of the feeling, but not everybody loves the process of getting high.
Yeah.
Because of the smoking, the odor, or whatever. So you're gonna
I
see.
just like the money.
So you're gonna
I
see
just want to invest and get
companies.
the greens.
So you're gonna see companies come out ways to make it more enticing to for marijuana to be out there in the market. So
All right. Well, that's good. I just me, I'm not. I mean, I don't care about weed one way or the other. You can legalize it. I don't care. You can make it illegal. I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna shed a tear. But I will invest in it. I definitely will. I didn't. I haven't done my research on that. I haven't actually invested in anything as of recent. I invested something maybe like a month ago. But you do sometimes hit up on the group chat telling us and the mutual friends, hey, look into this stock, pay attention to it, and yeah, I do need to take some of your advice and just go ahead and do
definitely.
some research and all that. Um, how do you feel about cryptocurrency, like things like Bitcoin?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, right now it's what's hot, and with where the government is heading, with a lot of uncertainty, with a lot of money printing that's going on, you know,
Yeah, especially in the
there's
future
no.
inflation with all the freaking
Exactly, and
stimulus.
that's where crypto shines, and that's where
Yeah,
it's almost like a safe haven where people can store their money without having the government mindles in on it and check out with what's going on. So you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, of course.
yeah,
So
you mentioned that.
definitely. So it's one of those things. It's like you just want to invest in it and just keep investing it, and just forget about it, man. I mean, really, it's the stock market is not for everyone. It causes a lot of people stress, but if you can just find a way to maintain that frugal lifestyle where you can always have that $1,000 every month saved up where you can invest in, and just keep on doing it, and eventually the stock market will reward you.
Yeah. My thing about cryptocurrency is that I myself, if you want to invest in it, you want to invest in it. That's fine. And again, I, I barely did any research on this, but the way I see it is, okay, go ahead, fine, whatever. You want to invest in cryptocurrency, you do you. Again, I mind my own business. The way I see it though is that don't expect that this is going to be within your lifetime or in a couple of years. I don't see that happening. I think cryptocurrency is going to be that thing that you leave in your legacy. So like say you have grandkids or uh, uh you're old and you want to pass it down to the remainder of your families if you don't have kids or whatever. Uh I don't see it. I don't see it in like 5 years from now or 10 years from now. I don't see it being a thing. Again, this is me. Again, just rough draft, barely maybe reading like 3 articles about it, and hearing some people talk about it. I don't see it. Me personally, for things to protect against like inflation, I'd rather invest in gold and silver.
Definitely.
Those things
Definitely.
have been. I've done those research that has been very consistent and never lose their value. Uh, so me personally, I mean, I don't own a company, and I'm not going to tell people, hey, listen to me. No, I'm just saying, if somebody were to come up to me and say, hey, DJ, are you going to invest in cryptocurrency? Maybe, but probably not. Like, I'd rather
Definitely.
invest in gold and silver.
Definitely. Well, I mean, as I was saying, if you're thinking about just investing in cryptocurrency right now, then you might be already too late. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah, no, it's like
And
24,000 a share or
and
something
to be
like that.
honest with you, you might be incorrect within 5 years because
I
cryptocurrency
could be. Yeah, you're right.
because cryptocurrency is almost like gold in a way where it's like, especially like Bitcoin, where they just limit a cap where this is only as much Bitcoins we're gonna have. So within 5 years, right now it's sitting at over 60 grand a share. a
Oh damn. Okay,
Bitcoin.
never mind. I thought it was like
So
20 something.
so now, within 5 years, it might be even worth over 100K a Bitcoin for just one Bitcoin. So, and some places, some institution, banks, they're accepting Bitcoins right now. They're
Yeah, I did
accepting
see that.
cryptocurrency. So we might be heading, yes, it's not sustainable in terms of how to extract Bitcoins, because you need all this computers, all this electricity versus like a paper currency, for example, but within 5 years, who knows? So
Yeah, no, I mean, I could very well be wrong. It's not a hill that I'm willing to die on. Let me just put it that way. But here, let's take a break. Cheers.
cheers, brother.
Again, man, thank you so much for being on the show. Yeah, no, I wanted to have you on specifically so we could talk a little bit about this. But hey, let's take a break on stocks for a minute, and let's change the subject. What's your plan now? Like, what's your goal right now? What are you trying to do?
Well, definitely right now is my plan is to just, to invest more in the stock market and to be more of a consistent of a person, and just to turning 30 soon. So just need
When's your birthday?
July 11th.
Nice.
So definitely. So, just been being humble, being content, and just being able to thank the Lord, man, really, for just being able to be in this show, being able to talk to your viewers, and being able to preach what I know.
No, especially, and I think some people are gonna appreciate that. All my 5 viewers. We'll get there. I always say that we'll get there. Dude, you need to make a like a Facebook page or Instagram page, and have, I can see you getting more followers faster than me, because who doesn't care about money, right? I'm just some idiot who started a podcast who had way too much money and time on his hands. But like, no, you should definitely. I can see you running a Facebook page, and every week, whatever, right before you're about to buy a stock, or when you're researching, hey, I'm looking into this. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm looking into it.
Definitely.
I bet people would definitely follow that. Definitely. You should look into that, and then and then make a selfie video. You don't need some high quality shit. This isn't even high quality, but you can make a selfie video. I could see you doing that. It's like, hey guys, what's up? Benedictus here. Hey, I'm looking into this stock. You guys should buy it. Hey, I just bought this stock. It went up this amount.
Definitely.
I think you should, dude.
Definitely. I mean, it's something to think about, really. I mean, it's really nothing to, like, one of the reasons why I don't want to do that, because I don't want to lead people in the wrong way and
but
whatnot.
It's like swim at your own risk.
Yeah,
you're just letting the world know, hey, I'm looking into it.
Definitely.
Hey, I just bought this.
Yes.
I'm not telling you what to do. Exactly. Hey, this stock that I just bought went up $3.
Definitely.
Do whatever you want with that information. Definitely. I'm just telling you what I fucking did. So,
I mean, I'm just like saying. I'm more concentrated on more of like getting you that money to invest in a stock, on ways on how to be frugal, on how to be, not to spend so much money, so you can give yourself a chance in the stock market, because, with the paycheck to paycheck, the living paycheck to paycheck, and people are not financially literate. And to me, that's what irks me, because you can do your own research and put your money in the stock market, but if you don't have that money to begin with, then what's it? Like,
all right, so I mean, I was trying to change the subject a little bit, but we're just gonna go back around it. All right, so you want to help people, basically find the money within their budget to try to use that to go ahead and play in the stock market. So let's talk about some like saving tips. What are some saving tips that I'll tell you, if you don't mind if I go
Yeah,
first?
go ahead.
Learn how to cook.
Yeah, don't definitely.
Learn how to fucking cook.
Definitely.
Dude, I have a brother. I'm not going to say his name. People who know me know him, whatever. And I don't care if he goes, oh, you're trying to embarrass me on your I don't give a fuck. Learn how to cook. Learn how to fucking cook. Go on YouTube.
Definitely.
Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I've learned so many recipes on there. And it's still hands on. And one of the things about uh uh cooking is trial and error. It's like, oh, maybe I didn't put in enough seasoning. Oh, maybe I put too much. Oh, I accidentally burnt this. Whatever. And it's processed. And the reason why I say learn how to cook, obviously, it's because you know, if you end up getting really good at it and you cook a dish that you're really proud of, then you're gonna look forward to cooking that dish not only for you but maybe for other people, and then it's gonna cut the time that you go out to eat. It's gonna make you, want to invite people over. It's like, hey, I'm really proud of this dish I just made. I'm gonna invite people over. So instead, you're just gonna mainly splurge on them. Learn how to cook. It'll cut the amount that you go out. Especially spending double, triple the money on fucking DoorDash. Uh, so learn how to cook. That's just that skill alone will whatever money you save from going out, take that and go play in the stock market or put it in a savings account. I don't care,
Definitely.
but that's my advice. Learn how to cook.
Definitely.
It creates a ripple effect.
Definitely. And you're right. You're completely 100% right. You learn how to cook. I'm starting to look like I live in my own for over a year now. And
How is that?
it's amazing. And
Yeah.
to me, and that's what's the number one thing that I've taken from my mom, and just to be able to cook, be able to illustrate the dish already in your mind
Yeah.
before you go out and
My
buy
mom and you two, the two best
Definitely,
teachers.
right before you go out and go to the groceries and whatnot, it's almost like you're an artist. You already know how the dish is gonna look before when you're actually putting it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing. And also the number two things is also stop buying on convenience. A lot of Americans love convenience. They love to just buy things that's convenience.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that they're paying more, but they're buying the convenience of it.
Like, give an example.
Give it an example. It's like you could buy bananas in Kroger for like 25 cents, have it at your house, and when you want to go before you go to work, you can just have one. Instead of before you go to work, you stop by the gas station to buy the same bananas for $1.
Yeah.
Stop buying convenience.
Yeah.
And most people who are successful, they have the ability to think ahead of time. Bless you.
Thanks, man.
So that's just that. Stop. When you start planning ahead of time, then only the weak buy convenience, because they don't think ahead of time, but you do. So, and like what you said, once you do that, it creates a ripple effect.
It really does. Yeah. Yeah. No, I can see that. I've definitely. I mean, I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it. I've done that where, I'm like not really late for work or whatever, but I'm just like, oh man, I'm kind of crunched for time, or maybe I'm just fucking lazy. I've had lazy days, and I could easily just make a sandwich that I know I'll like, and whatnot. But I've had moments where I said, screw it. Maybe I'll go to QT and I'll pick up one of their like sandwiches, and I'll spend more for a single sandwich that I could have easily just made at home.
Definitely.
for the convenience. I've done that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm
And
guilty
then
of it. But and you do feel it. Like you don't even feel good when you have that sandwich. It's like, damn, I could have made a better sandwich.
definitely, and you know, I challenge all your YouTube viewers to do that. You know, to stop buying convenience and stop giving in to convenience. Start planning ahead of time. Start thinking ahead of time.
Yeah.
And when you do that, not only it creates a ripple effect, you're gonna do a lot better for yourself in the long term. What most people don't understand is that nowadays in America, people think of about food is when they're hungry. And when you're hungry, it's too late then. All you
Yeah.
want to get is fast food.
Yeah.
But if you think ahead of time, you're going to get hungry anyway. You're a human being. But if you think ahead of time, you go to a grocery store, you know what you're going to get, you prep it, and when you're hungry, all you got to do is just put it all in together. And boom.
Yeah, no, nicely put, man. Yeah. So Godzilla versus King Kong, man. What you think of that movie?
Well, I mean, it's a great movie, man. I mean, though it airs out on HBO Max, a lot of people are still going out to AMC and
I went to the
going
theaters to go see it.
to see the movie. You know,
Do you have HBO or?
so I do have HBO.
So you watched it at home?
No, I did not. I've as much as you know, wanting to press that play button.
Yeah.
You know, I want to support AMC. You know, go out to a theater and go see it the right way.
Yeah, there are
you know,
certain movies that you have to see in theaters.
Definitely.
Godzilla versus big blockbusters like that, you gotta go see in theaters.
You have to.
If you're gonna watch some indie drama shit,
Definitely.
no, I'm gonna watch that on HBO Max. You can hate me, I don't care. But dude, that movie, oh my god, it took a minute to digest for me, but as soon as I left the theaters, I was like, yo, that movie was dope. But then over time, I was like, no, you know what? I really like that movie. It was just a fun movie. Did it have some flaws? Of course it has some flaws. I don't care. But like the main thing about that movie was the fights.
Definitely.
That shit was dope, man. All right. So, so anybody who hasn't seen the movie or wants to see the movie, leave now, because I'm going to talk about some spoilers because you and I have already seen the movie. So, like, and I love talking about movies. Dude, okay, spoilers. I'm not kidding. Spoilers. I'm about to drop something in 5, 4, 3, 2. You've been warned. 1. Dude, I called Mechagodzilla. Like, I kind of called it. I was hanging out with my brother before I went to see the movie, and I said that I didn't call Mechagodzilla then. But I did say, you know, is there a clear winner? Is there a clear loser? Because I know for a fact, I wasn't spoiled with this, but I was like, I know for a fact they have to introduce like a mutual enemy. And one of the big the things that sucked about Batman versus Superman was they introduced Doomsday in the trailer. It's like, dude, we knew that something was going to be the main villain where Batman and Superman were going to team up. So with Godzilla versus King Kong, I knew that going in. It's like there's going to be another enemy that they're going to team up. Who is it? I don't know. And then in the beginning, where that black dude discovers this like red orb, I had a thought. I was sitting next to my friend. I didn't say it to him though, for security. I just said, I wonder if that's the eye for Mechagodzilla. That would be dope. But then I thought, nah, they're not. It's probably not that. It's probably like some nuclear generator that manipulates Godzilla to attack whatever. And then when the actual Mechagodzilla reveal, where it was slowly ascending, like I saw the outline of the tail, and I was like, yo, I think that's Mechagodzilla. And then he starts forming. I'm like, yo, I called it. I fucking called it. Dude, that shit was dope.
Yeah. Instead of King Kong versus Godzilla, it should have been King Kong and Godzilla.
No, no, because then people would know. It's like, exactly. Oh, okay, whatever. No, people, dude, but oh my god, who'd you want it to win with Godzilla?
Man, to be honest, I'm Team Godzilla. all the
Everybody's
way.
Team Godzilla.
You know.
I'm Team Godzilla, but I'll admit I did think King Kong was gonna win. I thought King Kong was gonna win. Why? Because it was the second movie, and this was Godzilla's third movie. Also, they were showing King Kong way more in the beginning, and they were painting him in this hero light. So I was like,
Yeah.
they're gonna make him win. So
Yeah.
I thought going in. So I was wrong on that.
Yeah.
I'm glad Godzilla won though. Like, yo, that shit was dope. Dude, okay. Let me tell you, I squealed like a fucking schoolgirl when Kong won round 2, and then the dude goes like, round 2 goes to Kong, and then you see Godzilla open his eyes and he's like, oh fuck no, and he starts biting Kong's ankle and starts dragging him, starts beating him up on the ground, stands on like right over him, and he's all like, bitch, I won. Dude, that shit was dope. That was the best fight scene.
Definitely. That was a great movie, man. I mean, to be honest with you, is like couldn't be any movies that jumps back the theater industry,
right? No,
Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, so. Good for Kong versus or Godzilla versus King Kong. I always say Kong versus Godzilla. I don't know why. So. But is there any? Oh, did you see the Justice League Snyder cut?
Oh yeah, I did. I seen it. It's like 4 hours long, but it felt like an hour and a half when it's a good movie. You know,
really?
When it's a great movie, it feels fast. You know,
I had to watch 2 hours and then the other 2 hours.
I watched the whole thing.
You watched the whole thing?
It was a great movie. So,
what'd you think of that?
Well, I mean, I loved it. I mean, like I said, like when a long movie like that, it just makes it seems like it's only an hour long when it's a great movie. When it's a great put out movies, and it's, you know, a lot of action, just a lot of engaging on the viewers. So
I think it was definitely better than the first Justice League, for sure. I don't think I don't think there's anybody in the world that's gonna be like.
I mean, I think it's cool when I think it's funny when Wonder Woman goes on, they go like,
I have no idea.
Just like whenever there's an action scene of Wonder Woman, it's like, it's like some Amazon stuff. Really? Apparently,
I gotta watch it again. Then.
It's something that like I noticed, and then I told like one of my roommates.
Are you talking about like her theme song?
No, it's just like and just in that movie.
Because I like her theme song.
It's not even a theme song. It's just in that movie. If you see her like going into like a fighting scene, you hear is that like. It's so funny. Yeah, so
oh man, no, I enjoyed the movie. It was really good. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the greatest, but it was definitely way better than the first crappy Justice League movie we got. I just gotta talk about it just because it's like it's still in my head. How do you feel about Jared Leto's Joker?
Well, I mean, he did an alright job. I mean, I liked it. You know, not a lot of people who are a fan of the Joker liked it, but I mean, I think he did well. You know, it's a little bit like a young Joker. You know, like a teenage-ish, like growing up Joker, but it's definitely not the ordinary Joker that we're used to see.
Okay, let me put it on record. Jared Leto, great actor. I don't have a doubt in my mind that he could play the Joker. I just don't think he was directed well. I mean, I don't know who's to blame, but thank God for whoever fixed up the stupid Suicide Squad Joker with the tattoos and bullshit. That was dumb. But I don't know. It feels like he's Jared Leto trying to play the Joker. I know, again, I'm gonna get so much hate. I don't give a fuck. Bring it on. But yeah, I just didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But the whole movie was good. I don't know. I kind of they did tease me with Darkseid. I did think I was like kind of looking forward to like a little bit of a fight scene, with the League and Darkseid, but then they just teased us with Darkseid and the origins and him wrecking shit. Oh, but whatever. What movies are you looking forward to?
Well, I mean, the next movie that I'm looking forward to is the 007, man. No Time to Die. That's
Yeah.
coming out soon. I heard Top Gun is supposed to be really good. The new Top Gun,
Oh yeah,
and
that hasn't came out. I thought that
A
was out.
Quiet Place 2 with Emily Blunt, and
They're making a second one.
yeah,
How
they're
do you make
making
a
a second
second
one.
one of that?
So
Whatever.
it was a great first one. So
I mean, I don't like scary movies. So I don't
so
care.
yeah, there's a lot of great movies coming out. So catch it on AMC.
I'm looking forward to uh Fast Nine.
Fast Nine,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
definitely,
that. That's my
definitely,
guilty pleasure movie. I don't give a fuck. That
definitely.
movie can be super silly. I don't care. I'm still gonna like it. I'm already sold. They could have this idea for all I care. I want a scene where they have like one of the cars fucking skydiving in like kind of like space atmosphere and gets grabbed in Earth gravitational pull and just fucking sky. I don't care. I want that scene.
Yeah.
I want them and Disney to have a crossover. I want the fucking Dodge Challenger to fucking blow up the next Death Star. I don't care. Like
That's funny.
as long as it goes silly and don't take itself too seriously,
Yeah.
I'm a supporter of that movie. I don't care. I love the Fast series, but 007, No Time to Die. I'm just done with Daniel Craig, man. Like he was a great Bond in the first three movies, but then Quantum of Solace, he doesn't want to do it anymore. He openly said that he's only doing it for the money, and you see it. His quality just fucking drops, and I'm a huge Bond fan. My dad got me into the Bond movies, and now it's dipping, and I'm just like, all right, find a new Bond. Get
Yeah.
Idris Elba. Come on.
I don't know how I feel about a black Bond now.
Oh,
I'm
racist.
just playing.
Dude, Idris Elba is like would be the best Bond though.
Yeah.
He wants to do it, but
Yeah.
like the studio won't let him. I mean,
Yeah.
fuck, do it.
So
You good, man?
yeah, I'm good.
You a little tired?
No,
We can stop this.
No, just whenever.
All right, man. Well, all right then. We almost did 2 hours. Nice. All right, so let's I've been putting this off, but let's talk about it. Like let's go in a little bit of the serious light. Uh so the rise of like the Asian hate crimes and stuff, dude.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I mean, with this whole, I mean, I don't blame.
I don't think it's on the rise anymore.
Like, I don't blame the average Americans of with what's going on, like with the whole COVID thing, knowing that it's the origins from China, knowing that it was a defining moment in Donald Trump's presidency, and it might be the reason why he's not a president anymore. And you have a lot of people with some sort of weird sentiment, what I mean, towards it. And you have like some people sees it as like, now that the government is printing out a lot of money because of that, the US dollars are devaluating because of the COVID-19, and people just want to find somebody to blame. And that just it's like it's a perfect storm. It's like, okay, well, COVID-19 originated from China, so let me just go hate on every single Asian folks that I see or something like that.
Yeah, man, no, it's fucked up. Like, I mean, I know you don't live with your parents anymore, but I mean, obviously, you still live, kind of close to them. Did your mom and dad talk to you about like, hey, you got to be careful out there?
No, I mean, if anything, it's like I'm the one that has to let them
telling
know.
them to be careful.
Definitely, and they're the one that's more oblivious about it than I am. I'm more aware about it. But I mean, it's enough. Enough is enough. I mean, when it happened, yeah, you can have that hashtag, like stop Asian hate. But what we really need to talk more about is just stop all hate. Period.
Right.
I mean, though you see more of in the media of like microscopic of towards Asian folks or whatnot, but you have all sorts of hate going
Yeah.
on in the
No,
world.
you
And
really do. It's
and once we can, you know, tackle that, then everything else will be better. So
Man, did you see the video where it was in New York and it was a security camera like in the hotel and the Asian lady
definitely. And
walking?
then the dude just pretty much just closed the door on what just
Right?
happened.
Dude, that, oh my God. Okay, listen,
Yes.
I'm not an emotional person. Like, I
Yeah.
really am not very in control of my emotions. When I saw that, like, I don't know who this lady was, but I was just like, dude, how are you gonna close the door? You're a security guard, and no, screw it. You don't even have to be a security guard. You just a normal human being. You see somebody getting their ass kicked, you're just gonna like fucking
Definitely.
just close the door and turn your backs. Like, are you serious,
Definitely.
dude? That pissed me off. I was, oh God, I got so heated. It just, but I mean, good that they got fired, but still, that lady ended up losing her life. That was so fucked
Yeah,
up.
I mean like I said, there's a lot of ignorance that's going on in not only the United States, just in the world. People people only want to take in the information that they only want to take in, even
Yeah.
though you might be right or wrong. But
No, especially
so
narratives and stuff, man, dude.
yeah,
God, like how, you know, this has nothing to, like, it's not to kind of like point fingers or anything, but I mean, I just, everybody hates the media. Fuck the media. Like,
yeah,
I like to meet the one person who's like, no, I like the media. Who the fuck likes the media at today's time, where you know they only care about a crime story if if a white person did something bad,
yeah,
but if any other race did something bad, they don't really report it. It's not national news. It's just like, no, we gotta report only evil white people. It's like,
yeah.
but I like what you said. It's like, it's not about stop Asian hate, it's stop all hate. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, when you stop all hate, and that's when you can have you know a productive conversation of an individual, group, or whatnot. But that itself shouldn't be the conversation if we do stop all hate. If we just don't, if we just love one another, and just treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what I mean? Regardless, you black, Asian, white, yellow, purple, doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
No, you
So
gotta draw the line somewhere. If I see a purple person, I'm like, yo,
so
where are you from?
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
So it just really doesn't, it just really doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So hate is a hate. Doesn't matter. You're
Yeah,
Asian,
man.
black, yellow.
Yeah.
So
Except for
and
purple. Fuck
it's
purple. I'm just kidding.
so
Fuck Barney's.
I
The
mean,
dinosaur.
when you see this narrative of like just hashtag stop Asian hate, hashtag stop
It's
Asian
just
hate,
virtual signaling.
it's just the narrative that the media wants you to perceive, that like, oh, like this and this and this and this happened, like toward, you know what I mean? It's just, why don't we just stop all hate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everyone's going through a rough time right now. With all COVID-19, everyone's going through unpredictable times right now. So that's just that. So
People just love to point fingers and blame and
definitely.
and be angry at something. Like, and I'm not saying that there are not times where somebody should be blamed, and take personal responsibility. One thing I just don't like is people grouping other people that this isn't a group thing. It's an individual thing. It's like that person, because I'm Dominican.
Definitely.
I would hate for some evil Dominican to do something evil, and then for some random person to come up to me and be like, "Hey, did you hear about what that evil Dominican person did?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, that was pretty fucked up. Yeah, are you gonna apologize for that?" It's like, no,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that wasn't me. That I don't know that person. I don't care. Sucks what happened, but like, don't group me in with that person just because we share an ethnicity. Fuck
Definitely.
that.
I mean, it's a narrative and agenda that
I relate more with you, and you're not you're Indonesian, like,
definitely.
and
So
no, screw it. We're Americans, all right. Like,
of course.
exactly. It's like, yeah.
I mean, the media is there, is to inform the citizen, and I give them
They don't
respect,
even do that.
and I give them
They just
respect.
sell
I
fear
give them
porn.
respect of doing what they do, but
I don't.
it's just up to us to not be brainwashed, and it's just
Yeah.
up to us to have mind of our own, and be able to think on our own,
Yeah.
and not to just follow the trend, but instead be a trendsetter. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, stop all hate. Some people would be like, "Oh, that's so general," but I mean, it's true though. Like, I read this book. I'm gonna talk about it one day. Uh, uh, Lone Survivor. There's a movie out, but the book. There's a part in the book where it talks about. I'm kind of gonna butcher it, but it was basically talking about that Marcus Luttrell. It's his life, his story, and I recommend it to anybody. There's a part in the book where he talks about until you are face to face with somebody that this person just doesn't even see you as a human being. This person is about to take your life, and that person just hates you, doesn't know anything about you. This person is just about to take your life. Until you meet that person, you don't know what hate is, and you're about to take this person's life. You don't know their story.
Yeah.
You just know they're about to do you harm, and you're about to do them harm. You just hope to be the one who, I'm sorry, like, end them before they end you. Until you're in that situation, you don't know what hate is. And I remember exactly where I was when I read that and let that digest. And I was in the plane on my way to Colorado to snowboard, and I was reading this, and as soon as I read that, I had to close the book, and I just sat down. And I was, fuck, that is so true. I've always said, oh, I hate this person, I hate that, but then I took a step back and realized, no, I honestly never hated,
definitely.
and now I can confidently say, bunch of my friends in the common person, when they say, oh, I hate this person, no, you don't.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to take their life, and you don't know anything about them, you don't hate them.
I mean, hate is a strong word.
Hate is a strong word.
So, and we're all in this world, temporarily. So why can't we all just be nice and just treat people the way you want to be treated? You know what I mean? And that's just that. So.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, man, we talked about a whole bunch of stuff, and we almost did 2 hours. Ben, thank you so much for being on the show. I can't thank you. I mean, you're gonna come back on. Everybody's gonna come back on. Oh, excuse me. In the future and all that stuff. Hope you had a good time.
Definitely. Well, thank you for having me here, man. And like I said,
do you want to drop your handles and stuff for people to follow you, or
I mean, well,
where can people reach you?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can add me at Benedictus Chandra Instagram.
I mean, I'll put it on the bio on YouTube. But just say it.
If you need any, I mean, I'm personally not a financial advisor, but if you need any, tips or any advice on how to save money, on how to get through certain situation in life, feel free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So any help that I can do is a great help. So
yeah, man. Well, hey, man. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
You're gonna be on the show in the future.
Definitely.
But so yeah, man.
Definitely. Thank you for having me on. Of course, I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Definitely.
All right. Appreciate it, guys. Take care.